Hey everybody, welcome back to the Success Secrets Revealed live stream television show. I wanted to talk to you about a little bit about how this show came about. Then I'm going to introduce our sponsor. Then I'm going to introduce our amazing guest today. She is a gratitude. Her name is Tina Torres. She is the CEO of Gratitude Specialist, and she helps a lot with client retention and other things, which are super important in today's day and age. Wouldn't you agree? But first, I want to tell you about how the show came about. My name is Ronald Couming, and I have a radio show called Internet Marketing and Business Solutions with Ronald Couming. We have a 1.7 million reach. It's a weekly show. But due to COVID, the radio station is not manning people during that time, so they're just running reruns. So I didn't want not to continue to contribute and give people, actionable feedback, business owners and entrepreneurs. So I switched the format, doing the live streams. These videos will go out live and go through all social media platforms, but the audio I'm going to strip out, send to the radio station so they can run live content throughout the week, so we can continue to contribute. So I just want to say sometimes in life you need to pivot, right? And we had to pivot. The sponsor for this show is my company, RCS Online Solutions. We are a digital marketing agency, and we basically help people create their online presence or take their current online presence and get it in front of their ideal customers and clients. At the end of the day, you can have the best products, the best services, the best prices, the best websites, the best funnels, the best everything you can have. But if people can't find you when they're looking for your products and services and solutions, then you have nothing, right? Or you certainly have a lot less. So that's what we do. We help people get in front of their target audience. So enough about me. Today I want to talk to you about, we have with us, like I said, Tina Torres. She is a client retention expert. She has been recognized as a top performing sales associate, awarded #1 in her region, and a top income producer, using her proven system for building strong customer relations. Tina is a best-selling author of the Gratitude Journal. She is the founder of the Connect to Client Blueprint, a proven follow-up method to enhance relationships with clients and potential clients. Her mission is to show the world how to implement gratitude into your daily life, how by doing that can change your business. Tina is a morning TV show host, best-selling author, and a global speaker. She lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, where she is living an attitude of gratitude, showing the world how to build relationships that matter. Please help me welcome Tina.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you.
I got to get a clap track in there, right?
Yeah, one of those little clappers.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, but then I don't know. People might just think it's a clown show and not serious, right? So I guess you just got to balance things, you know what I mean?
And I'm loving your accent.
Tina, yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm loving your Boston accent.
Yeah, I don't have an accent. The rest of the world has the accent. You know how it goes, right? All right. But you lived in San Diego, North Carolina. You have a New York connection. So, I mean, you're pretty diverse when it comes to hearing accents, huh?
I am. So, yeah, I grew up in San Diego for 23 years. I moved to Georgia for another 20. I had some family in New York, so I have that little Jersey accent. I say coffee because I have my coffee all the time. But then, I love the accent thing. So I can go from Valley Girl to country bumpkin in a heartbeat.
I love it. You got to have your coffee and bagels.
My coffee and bagels.
Yeah, I like to tease my New York friends, right? They know I'm only joking, but I'll go like, hey, how do I get to the island? Where's Vinny? I want to get to the island. I need a dog. How do I get to the island? I want to go down the island and get a dog. Is that the number 7 train?
On the 6, baby, on the 6.
Is it the number 6 train?
It's on the 6, yes. The number 6.
I was close. I remember when I've gone to New York, I went from Queens into Times Square, and it was the 7. But that place is so big, I literally would take a picture of the train station where I got on and then one where I got off. So if I ever had to ask somebody, I'd say, where is this?
I have it on my phone, right?
Exactly. But excellent. I mean, you obviously have an amazing personality. I mean, we've just literally met, and you just, you're so fun. Your bio was great, but can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do, and a little more about this attitude with gratitude?
Of course, of course. So about 13 years ago, I started my company, and I started teaching people how to stay in contact with all of their people, their networking people, the people that they meet, and their clients. And I found that so many people were having a hard time staying in contact with them, following up and following through. So I knew I needed to create something. So I created some workshops. And so this year, I turned those workshops into a course, the Connection to Client Blueprint, where it's a 12-module course that you can go in and go through it on your own pace. So it's a DIY. You go through it on your own pace. You learn how to get all of these things in place, and you're able to implement everything into your business, from having the attitude of gratitude that I always say. I wrote my book last year, The Gratitude Journal. It is the #1 best-selling book on Amazon on 3 different categories right now. But I wrote it because of the situation that I was in. I had just got a divorce after 20 years. I became an empty nester. I lost a 6-figure corporate job that I had, and I moved from Atlanta to North Carolina, all in a 6-month period of time. So I was in a very bad depression, and so I knew I needed to do something like this. So I wrote the Gratitude Journal. It's a 365-day morning and nighttime routine. So you would do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. And doing this and implementing this into your daily routine for 90 days can change your life and change your world forever. And so that's part of my course. And then we kind of go into mindset, goal setting, follow-up, of course. I teach you a 7-step follow-up process where it creates a follow-up and follow-through method for years on end, and helps you build those relationships, helps you create that KLT factor, that know, like, and trust factor, and keeps you from being so salesy.
Yeah, because you want to serve, not sell.
Exactly.
I learned that years ago. My business literally tripled when I got to the point where I was serving people and not selling. And it's a subtle difference, because you give them the free giveaways. Here's three tips, 7 free tips, but you're building a relationship with them along. They're finding success in your free stuff. So then they say, well, if this is free, I wonder what I'm going to get if I actually invest some money.
Exactly.
Yeah. And today, retaining your clients, I mean, what it takes to actually get someone to serve, right? To actually achieve the success of serving a new client is a long process of like hand-holding. It's almost like dating. If you go into a networking event or something and you're just going for the sales, like you're a shark or something, and you pick up the phone, hey, this is this is what I got. This is what you need. Cut the check and we'll take care of it for you, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That doesn't work. I don't know if it ever did, but so now it is like a hand-holding process. But once you get them, that second and third and fourth sales are, I don't want to say like free money, but it's yours, because you've already built that rapport with them.
Exactly.
So you're going to invest a lot of time and effort up front on it, but that ROR is what I tell people. Don't focus on your ROI. If you spend $10 on a Facebook ad and you get 5 clients, you might think that's a failure. But over time, those 5 clients, you might make $100,000, whatever the lifetime of your client is. But focus on ROR. So I love your client retention. Can you give us some suggestions around?
Yeah, and so a lot of people, they struggle with retaining their clients, getting clients even, but retaining them are a whole nother story. Then once they get them, they kind of forget about them. They move on to getting the new clients. And so what I teach is to focus and to nurture the current clients that you have now, because you can create those loyal lifetime clients. And then you can turn those clients into those raving referral partners and fans, where they are in turn referring you to others. Right? And helping you work smarter and not harder, and not letting you work so hard to gain a new client. you're getting a warm market referral from a current client who has already done business with you. And then that way it'll increase your cash flow.
Yep.
And so what I teach them is a 7-step process to retain those clients, to nurture those clients, and then to get more products for your clients, to produce more products that your clients need, which they're going to buy more of because they've already bought from you once or twice before already. So it takes so much more effort for you to get a new client than for you just to nurture a current client that you already have. And I have some out of the box type of thinking too. I have them send cards and gifts, like actual physical cards and gifts in the mail. I have them send birthday cards. I have them do some social media marketing. So, I have that whole 7-step process, and it's in the Connection to Client Blueprint.
I love it. And I so agree. You know how much I agree. If I could share my screen, I won't do it. But if you look at my website, right, it's RCS Online Solutions. But right on the very front, it says attract, convert, and retain your ideal customers and clients. I so agree with what you're saying for multiple reasons that I've said and that you've said. So what are some? I'm going to give them the ticket right now. Is that okay if I let them?
Yeah, go ahead.
So now this is how they can actually start to access your course.
Yep. So if you text the word connection to 26786, you're going to get a free downloadable. Your 7 ways to increase your cash flow. And it's just 7 easy steps for you to implement today for you to start increasing that cash flow, for you to retain those clients, for you to turn those clients into raving fans.
I love it. Now, we're definitely going to come back and touch on this because to me, it's so important, especially in today, like with COVID and, some of our client base has stopped or, they're leery about coming back. But I'm really interested. I mean, you had a lot of stuff happen. You had like 4 or 5 major life experiences happen to you all at one time. I talked about my radio show going to just doing reruns. So I had a pivot. I mean, your pivot at that point in your life was a little bit more than me doing live streams, opposed to talking into a mic where nobody can see it. I like to tell people I have a face for radio, right? But so you had some major life events, but you didn't use them to disable you. You used those to enable you, to lift you up. I mean, it probably beat you down for a week or 2 or a month, just, because you just had to get your mind right. But, here you are today. So you obviously have you've used them to scale. Please tell us a little bit more about that, because to me, that's huge. And I really think people should get your book, get your course, but the combination to me is do it.
So after all of that happened, it took me about 90 days. I fell into a very, very bad depression. It was a dark time in my life. And so many people are like, Tina, you're the gratitude specialist. You're not supposed to feel this way, but even the gratitude specialist had those kind of times. But I knew about gratitude already. I had God in my life. So I took a journal and I got my Bible, and between the two of them, I was able to pray every day, get my journal out, and be grateful for the things that I had on a daily basis. I forced myself every single morning to get out of bed and to write 3 new things that I was grateful for in my journal. And it took about, like I said, it took about 90 days, but I was able to turn that around. And I started being able to manifest people into my life that were able to lift me up and get me out of the hole that I was in. I had to do a lot of removing of toxic people, that you have to do. And some of them were family members. So I had to remove a lot of people out of my life and remove myself out of some situations. But with that, I was able to write the book and meet some fabulous people who are now lifting me up. And I was able to relaunch my business. I was able to, like I said, write my book. I was able to take my workshops and turn them into a course. I started speaking right when the COVID started hitting. I was just hitting my relaunching my speaking career. Yeah. And then so Angel, Tessie, and I decided to take what was happening with the COVID and turn it into a virtual event too. And so we started the Connect Summit. We have just finished our 4th one. We're about to launch our 5th. And so it's June 23rd from 12 to 6 Eastern. We launched our Angel and Tina morning show. So we do that. It just got picked up by 7 different channels. On the Zandra TV network is one of our sponsors. We have several other sponsors on the TV show as well. We've had amazing guests from Sharon Lecter, Les Brown. I mean, some big time guests on our show and on our summit. So, the whole pivot thing kind of worked in our favor. It kind of worked in our favor. And so we were able to take that and take it up a notch. I am now writing my 2nd book, Beyond Gratitude, Creating the Connection for a Lifetime, where it's going to give you a step-by-step process on how to create that connection and how to create it for a lifetime, how to build those actual relationships with everyone that you meet.
I love it, man. I love it. And to me, it's those type of stories, that backdrop, I'm a
very girly girl, as you can tell.
From the island too, from New Jersey. I'm a girly girl from New Jersey.
What?
You know what I mean? That's exactly what we think of when we think of Jersey girls, right?
That and leopard.
Yeah, but no, I'm only joking. But what I meant by the backdrop was the backdrop to your story, to who you are, to your book, and the pivot. That level, I mean, that type of real, that makes you're so real, you're so raw, and you're so relatable. It's that type of authenticity that people are just going to gravitate to. So when you're speaking, and I right off the bat, when we were in the green room just talking, I mean, we were laughing and joking. I almost wanted to say, stop, we got to save this for the show, right? But in my mind, I was like, hey, just let it happen, and it will happen when we get out there. Yeah. But I just love the fact, I mean, I'm so sorry that you went through all of what you went through, but how you pivoted, you used that to empower you, not to enable you. Like you said, it took 90 days, but you learned, you had a mindset, 3 things every day. You forced yourself to get out of bed. You developed habits. You forced yourself to do this. You wrote them down, and all the good, step by step. If somebody finds themselves in a similar type situation, can you give me like 3 ideas? I know they should read your book. I know they should take your course, but just for 3 tips. I usually ask all my guests anyhow, can you give us 3 tips for a business owner or an entrepreneur, or in this case, somebody who's going through so many life changes all at once?
It was a very challenging time, but now that I look back at it, before I was like, why me? But then I had the epiphany where I said, why not me? Why wouldn't this happen to me? So I was able to take that and enable other people as well. So the 3 things that I would say that you do is definitely start a gratitude journal, whether it's mine or anything that you buy. You can buy it at a store, get it some kind of journal, and every single day write down 3 new things that you are grateful for. And it could be the bed that you're sleeping in. It could be because it's sun shining outside. It could be that because of a friend texted you. Whatever it is, just make sure it's 3 new things every single day. I say do it morning and nighttime, but at least do it once a day. The second thing is find people who can support you. Find people, positive, uplifting people who can help you and support you and get you out of that bondage that you think that you have. And then the third thing is always work on your mindset. So, whatever it is, reading, watching podcasts, watching the radio shows, whatever it is, just always keep yourself in that positive mindset, because it's so easy to get into that negative and fall into that negative side of things when you are in that kind of situation. So, keeping your mindset active and positive and in that positive flow was another thing that I did. So write in your gratitude journal, find your tribe, and keep a positive mindset are my three must do's to get yourself out of that pit that you think that you are in.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish I wrote it down, but I will go back because this is recorded. But when you first started speaking, I remember earlier you said you've interviewed Les Brown, right? I love Les Brown, right? He helped me tremendously. But when you said that you started feeling bad for yourself, and it was like, why me, right? And then you said, why not me? I was thinking about Les Brown because he says the same thing. Why not you? Why you wanted to be on somebody else? Why not you, right? So I mean, it's so funny because when we sit here and we listen to people, other people that have come into our minds, like I also think about Jim Rohn. And so I try to listen to Les Brown and Jim Rohn and a couple other people at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. Because that first, 20 minutes in the morning, your brain works at like 10.5 times the reticular activators, right? Yeah. So it's cooking. So you want to feed positive stuff. You don't want to put the news on, checking for the weather, and you hear about all the insanity.
I never watch the news. Ever, ever, ever. If it's anything that I need to know, I find it off of my social media. The news is never on. I never listen to anything negative. I did start a daily routine after all of this as well. So every day I get up between 4 and 5 a.m. And for the first hour, I have this whole morning routine. It's all made up of positive things, meditation and prayer and gratitude and journaling and all these things. And so doing that has helped me create the money mindset that I have now. What else was I going to say? Somebody just popped into my thing and was asking me a question. So doing that, creating that morning mindset, like you said, that first 20 minutes where your brain is so heavily active, don't turn on the news. Don't turn on that negative stuff. Keep it that you have, because it can.
Go ahead.
Keep yourself in a positive situation. Yep. And if you find yourself in that negative, you can always, when you have that mindset, you can find yourself and you'll be like, what am I doing? And you can turn it off and switch it around.
Yep. And I love it. And that's what I do. Like I said, I listen to either Les Brown or Jim Rohn. And one of the things Jim Rohn says, what happens to you pretty much happens to everybody else. Maybe it's a different date, it's a different person, but the feelings that come from the event pretty much happens. So it's not what happens to us, it's what we do with it. So exactly. That's what I really love how you just spun that around. And
then you also have to share your story. So for a while, I wasn't sharing my story. I wasn't telling people that I was in that dark pit. And then a friend of mine was like, why don't you share your story? Why don't you tell people that? And I'm like, because I'm the freaking gratitude specialist. I can't tell people that. And they're like, Tina, you're real. And so the first time I told my story from stage, I had so many people come up to me afterwards and say, oh my God, Tina, me too. And I can't believe you went through that. And I'm going through this now. And I'm going through a bad divorce now. And I was in a toxic relationship, or I too, am an empty nester. And my son went to the Army, too, because my youngest son went to the Army. And, so one of those things was able to relate to somebody in the audience. And if I can help one person a day, if I can help one person everywhere I go, just turn their life around, turn it from a negative mindset to a positive mindset, then I know that I fulfilled my purpose.
I love it. And I think you're doing tremendous already. Now, if somebody with their gratitude, tell us a little bit about your client retention. Let's go back to that, because you're a CEO of a company that helps people, and I'm a big fan. I tell my clients all the time, you got to attract, but it's attract, convert, and retain your ideal customers and clients. That's what I basically help them with. So the fact that you are a retention expert, I love that, because I so value that. So talk to us a little bit about how you help them achieve that, but then maybe give us 1 or 2 or 3 tips. Obviously they got to buy your course to get the whole thing, right? You got to live too, right? But, girl got to eat, right?
And I got to wear shoes because I love shoes.
And we got to have the ones with the red bottoms,
Always.
Jimmy's in the house.
I'm a red bottom girl.
But so funny. But all right. So, what are like some things that people can do for client retention? I mean, I like how you talked about giving people like things. I had one guy, I had a meeting with him, and then he sent me, and he used cards or something, right? And I ended up getting a box, and I literally just started a diet that Sunday, and I got these box on Monday.
A box of brownies?
2 brownies. And they were in here, and I'm thinking they went through.
That was from, so I'm affiliated with a company called Banner Season.
Yeah.
And they actually send cards and gifts. And you get actual physical cards in the mail. And you can send a 2 package of brownies. So what I teach my people is to send those physical gifts and to do it 7 times, or physical cards, and to do it 7 times a year. So you're creating that top of mind awareness. Every other month, they're getting something from you. And then twice a year, send them a little gift, like a 2-pack of brownies or a $5, Starbucks gift card, because you're just outside of the box thinking, and you're creating that wow experience. And then the third thing I suggest is always going the extra mile, because so many of us do not do that, and we just give them just enough. But why not go a little bit above and beyond to keep them and retain them for life? If you go a little bit above and beyond, they're going to become referral partners and then refer them to everyone they know. But if you do not, they're going to give you a negative review. They're never going to buy from you again, and they won't give you a referral. So why not put the extra special touch on every one of your clients, so that way they stay and you don't have to keep on trying to find new ones.
I love it. And that, you're right. And you're right. Then they become your raving fans.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, even if they don't get you additional customers or clients, your job is to serve them. But if it turns around that they send people your way because they're so happy with you, that to me just shows that, they loved your service so much that they just talked about it. People will be quick to talk about, I went to this movie theater and the seat was sticky. Or I got this popcorn, or I went to this restaurant and they were, whatever it was, they're quick for the negative, right?
They put the negative review right there on Google all the time. Yep. And it's very rare that you find somebody who puts a positive review on. So exactly. We kind of go into that in the Connection to Client Blueprint as well, where I show you how to ask for those referrals, how to ask for those testimonials. So then that way it boosts your stuff up, because, you need 10 positives to overcome that one negative. And that one negative is going to come a lot easier than those 10 positives. Yeah,
and you'll find I help people with like search engine optimization. I get them on the first page, ranked organically, often before they even pay me. But a lot of times people will contact me because of exactly what you just said. They'll have one negative review. They'll have 19 good ones, but the negative one.
The negative review is all the way to the top.
Exactly. It'll be like in the top 1, 2, or 3, and they're like, how can I bury that? And there's ways that you can, produce more content and do things legitimately, and just have that, filter down where, unless they're, looking on page 40, they'll never see you. Exactly. But yeah, it's that 1 or 2 that'll come up that'll bite you in the butt. And for whatever reason, like you said, you can have 7 or 8 really good ones and then 1 or 2 bad ones. And for some reason, people are just more inclined.
And they're not going to go and dig around. They're not going to go, well, let me see if I can find some positive reviews. They're going to read your first 2 negatives and they're going to be like, screw that, I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
But and when you do something like this, when you do some out of the box thinking and out of the box marketing, you're not spending so much money on Google ads and Facebook ads and billboards and magazines, and you're not spending all this money on all this other kind of marketing and doing that spray and pray type of thing. You're actually getting a customer or a referral or a raving fan, right?
Yep. And it's good. And also what I like to try to talk to my clients about is I will talk to them like, let's say, like in my case, we do websites and we do SEO, search engine optimization. Sometimes I will try to form an alliance with a company that does SEO but doesn't do websites, or a company that does websites and doesn't do SEOs. Or I will make a relationship with somebody who's a business attorney, because all his clients need one or more of my services. So I will build a relationship with him or her, and then, often maybe even give them some free work so they can see the benefits, and then, have access to their entire client base with a soft referral. So I love what you're saying, and it's all about giving first. It is. serve, man. Serve.
And I always tell my customers, what you send out is what you get back tenfold. So, I get probably around 200 birthday cards a year from my different clients and, influencers around the world. But I send probably about 400 or 500 cards a year, birthday cards a year.
Buy stamps?
Yes, I like actual physical cards. They get.
Do you actually have to lick them? I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Steinfeld episode where they licked all the wedding anniversaries.
No. So the company that I have, so Banner Season, they stuff it, stamp it, and mail it out for you, and it's about $1 a card. So what I tell people is, aren't your customers worth $7?
Yep.
If they're worth $7, you're gonna be able to keep them forever. Because once you start showing people how you feel, like Maya Angelou says, people will remember what you said, they'll remember what you did, but they'll always remember how they made you feel. You made them feel. And if you just reach out to people for no reason, hey, happy birthday, with no referral, hey, and if you need a real estate agent, call me. Just, hey, happy birthday, wishing you a fabulous birthday, enjoy your day, love, Tina. Nothing else. And you're just sending out for that. You're going to get all of that back. They're going to want to work with you. They're going to want to send you a referral. Even if they have never bought from you, they're going to send you referrals.
I love it. And Tina, I'm looking at the promo piece we put up for you. As you know, I told you I have multiple screens. So, but we don't have your contact info here. So I want two things. One, can you give everybody your best contact info? I know we have the text floating on the bottom, but then I also want you to send me, right, in an email or a Facebook message, because when I post this up, like your website, your email, and your social media posts, right? And I'm just going to cut and paste that and put it there, so people will be able. But you also get backlinks from that, because it'll be there and shared. And backlinks are one of the biggest things that the search engines use to determine who they're going to bring up, because they kind of view it as like a vote of confidence. If they're sharing them, they must have quality content.
Exactly.
So I want to make sure we get that for you.
So if you go to thegratitudespecialist.com, you're going to get me. That's my website. Every single social media platform is all the Gratitude Specialist. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything is the Gratitude Specialist, all on brand. You'll see all of my pink and white branding all over the place. That's me. But if you go to the Gratitude Specialist, you'll see all of my information. You can get information on my Connection to Client Blueprint. You can also get my information on my Gratitude Goals and Growth membership program that I have. And you can pre-order my new book called Beyond Gratitude, Creating the Connection for a Lifetime. You can buy my gratitude journal, whatever you want to do. And you can schedule a 15-minute complimentary consultation with me as well.
Tina, you've been absolutely amazing. I pretty much have to close this out in a couple of minutes, but is there anything you'd like the listeners to know before we do?
So if you are going through a dark time in your life, what I know a lot of people right now are, with the COVID-19 hitting, so many people are getting hit different ways, right? But if you just start your day with a gratitude journal, starting your day for 5 minutes every morning and 5 minutes every night, no matter if you're using mine or not, just start your day and do it for 90 days. Your life and your business will change forever. I guarantee it.
Excellent.
So always have an attitude of gratitude.
And that's your whole brand. That's what they can find you, Instagram, everything else, attitude, attitude, right?
Exactly.
All right. I'm going to close out the show, but everybody, this has been an amazing, let me go, whoop, this one. Thank you. That one, it was one of three, right? This was an amazing interview, and I highly recommend that you contact Tina Torres. She is the CEO of Gratitude and a Gratitude Specialist of multiple sites. We're going to put it all up here for you. But think about her past. I mean, she had some, pretty mentally and emotionally, devastating things happened to her at one time. She didn't use that to disable her. She used it to empower her, created a book, created courses, programs. She's out there helping dozens of other people. She's got she's a best-selling author in 3 different categories. You really need to connect with Tina. And besides that, you see and heard her, she has a dynamite personality, right? So she's really fun. She's real, raw, and relatable, right? And we always want to learn from somebody who's been there and done that. I mean, it's not that that misery loves company, but somebody can understand us better who has been through something similar. You know what I mean? It's a little different type of empathy. So again, I highly recommend that you contact Tina Torres. My name is Ron Couming. You've been watching the Success Secrets Revealed live stream show. We're sponsored by RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs much like you attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients to achieve even greater success. At the end of the day, let's be real, you can have the best products, the best service, the best solutions, the best sites, the best funnels, but if people can't find you when they're searching for their solutions, products, and services for their problem, they're not searching for your name and they're not searching for your company's name. So Google the service or product or solution you provide. If you're not coming up first on the first page, contact us. We'll get you there often before you even pay us. Have a great day, everyone.